This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Are you ready for another episode? It is me, Carty. Welcome to another episode of the Carty Method Podcast. Today, we are doing your favorite photo show of the week. It is Real Photo Reviews. Real Photo Reviews we do every Tuesday and Thursday here on this channel. Tuesdays, I look at your portfolio images. I'm always wanting to see portfolio images. You get to submit one photo, and you might be wondering how to submit. Super simple. Just go to thecartymethod.com/submissions and sign up for photo submissions. That will unlock my community as well as the photo submission folder. You get one photo submission per submission episode, meaning 2 per week. So you could submit on Tuesday to a portfolio review, and you can also submit on Thursday if you do my assignment. The assignment is very different than this one. This one, I'm willing to look at any photo that you're considering for your portfolio. Thursday, you have to actually do my assignment. I give you an incredibly tight brief. That brief, you follow that brief to the T, and you submit your photo, and I look at that photo. That happens on Thursdays. Tuesdays, I do portfolio reviews. We are adding something to this whole portfolio review system. The thing that we are adding is Tuesday, I now spin the wheel. I spin the wheel for Thursday's assignment. So if you watch on Tuesday to the end of the episode, you will find out, obviously, Tuesday is always a portfolio image. So that's what you're always submitting. It doesn't matter whether it's horizontal or vertical because it's a portfolio image. It's whatever you think. Thursday, that's when I'll post the assignment. Like, I'm going to post the assignment after Thursday's episode, but for the people who watch on Tuesday as well, you get to know what the assignment is 2 days before I post it, which gives you 2 extra days to do the assignment. That is how we are doing it. Guys, as you know, as I said, I am Carty, but I like to double through my graphics. If you are a member, you guys have stream control. There's all kinds of cool things that you can do here on my stream. There's all kinds of cool controls. If you want to know what those commands are, you just type commands or you just type commands like this, and the world will kick you back the commands for this channel. Look at Emmond coming out hard, showing my heart rate. That is another new perk for the members of this channel. You can actually show my actual heart rate right now at any point by using that command. So let's get into this week's photo reviews. This week starts with Thomas Wallace. And Thomas says, "Hey crew, finally broke out into taking paying customers for my work, and I want to start on a portfolio. Here's a shot from a mother-daughter shoot I did. I think the photos came out great, but always love a second opinion on what I can work on. Shot with the Z7 Nikkor 50mm ISO 100 1/1600th of a second at ISO 100 1600th of a second at f2.2. Thomas Wallace, everybody. Thomas, thanks for submitting. Let's get it on. I moved some buttons. I'm getting used to these new buttons. Thomas, this is really lovely. The mother and daughter, the leading line down the path here is really great. The matching dresses, but different dresses. The double cowboy boots, they're both pretty much in step. Like, that's the next thing to watch, is make sure that their legs are both in step the exact same way, which again is not easy, but it's something that you have to be working on, because you can see it, like, if they were both in step, that's like the last thing. They have the opposite legs moving forward. But for me, this is a yes. This is definitely a yes. I want you to watch your exposure a little bit, because it's backlit. You can see your sun is up here kicking down this way, because of that, that's going to give your camera kind of an untrue exposure aiming this way. So what we have to do is just give a little bit of compensation. What you can do is do it in post. Just give yourself a little bit of exposure compensation just to bring up the detail in the skin here and the legs. I don't mind the silhouette version, or the silhouette feeling, but just try to give this, like, call it 0.2 or 20% more exposure. See what that looks like. If I'm a liar, then leave it where it is. For me, I think it needs just a touch more exposure. But is this a portfolio picture? Yes, I am saying yes. I am giving you all the check marks and all the love. Let's go. Very, very, very good submission. Guys, that was Thomas Wallace. Thomas, very well played. Thomas, that's a good job. And yes, I would keep this in your portfolio. Good job. All right, let's see who's next.
Yes or yes?
This is a good vibe. Our next shooter is Christina Nicole. Christina says, "Greetings, Carty and crew. Here's my submission for a portfolio consideration. In studio test shoot using 2 strobes, 1 key light, large softbox, 1 hair light, strip box, and a grid. No light meter this time. Used trial and error to get the exposure. Once again, thanks for all you do. You're very welcome." Christina Nicole. Shot with the R50 with a 50mm 1.2. Shot f7 ISO 100 at 125. It's ISO f7.1, by the way. 7.1. Be exact. Like me. It goes 5.6, 6.3, 7.1, f8. All right. This is Christina Cole. Christina, let's get it on. Christina, this is really lovely. Let's check your exposure. I mean, I feel like it's pretty close, girl. It's pretty close. Like, she has too much makeup on and too much foundation, and that's actually darkening her skin. If you look at her arm color and then her forehead color and the tone difference between these two, it really feels like the makeup is way too much, and that's either her or it's the makeup artist. But you can see over here just the difference in the color of her cheeks, and then down here the difference in the color of her face here and here. So for me, this is like a little bit too much. The skin, the face is super dewy, but then the rest of her body isn't, which doesn't like tonally match. Like it's a tricky thing. Idea wise though, Christina, your work is so far beyond where you were 6 months ago. Even the idea is strong. You have to watch the toe here, how close we are down here in this corner, and how close your fingers are, and you're cutting the the stool. Your headroom is okay, but I want to show you what this looks like as an 8x10. So you see here, this is what this would look like as an 8x10. And I don't have a lot of options to put an 8x10 in this, meaning if this goes to Instagram, that's what your frame looks like. So are you okay with losing the feet? Because that's basically, this is your option now as an 8x10. So I hope this helps you. Like, these are the things that we have to be looking at when it comes to these are the things that we have to be looking at when it comes to this type of these types of pictures. Where is my cover vertical frame? Hello. Why is it not disappearing? All right, please stand by. Please stand by. I have to do a little programming here. So, in the meantime, please talk amongst yourselves. I have to do one little fix. Bam, ba. Here we go. Hide 4x5. Uh-huh. Hide vertical frame. Okay. Show vertical frame. Okay. Why are we not hiding it? Let me just see this one more time. Now it's gone. Show. Hide. Oh, okay. It's working. We good. All right. Our next, by the way, Christina, your work is leveling. It's leveling. I feel it. I hope that you feel it. The small details that I'm noticing with makeup and things like that, it's just really important that you notice it. If it looks like too much makeup to your eye on camera, it looks 100 times more. Less is more always, especially with makeup and hair. All right. That, guys, was Christina Nicole. Let's get into our next shooter. Our next shooter is Stephen Bourdeau. Stephen Bourdeau I made this image after the assignment for showing motion in a frame. This is my cousin who's a competitive dancer, and after about 200 attempts, we landed on this image with a consistent light on the right and strobe via rear curtain sync on the left. This is my first attempt using this technique, and I plan to refine it with future projects. R6 Mark II, 50mm 1.8, 2 seconds, f7.1 at ISO 100. This is Stephen Bourdeau. Stephen, let's get it on. Appreciate you, Stephen. Thank you for submitting. I mean, for me, let's look at this as a double. Show double. You can see what I see with how her hand is going across the frame. Like that. I love the idea. There's definitely, I definitely see the idea that you're doing. I appreciate the idea. I feel like it's just the framing. There's two things that bother me. The first thing is the crop here at the thigh. I wish it was just a little bit higher or lower and seeing her whole leg. If you were seeing her whole leg, now that would move this over because you're seeing more of her body, and also could quite possibly have moved this foot over a little bit more. This up here, Stephen, is good. Like, I like the look on her face, but we have to watch how you're using side light on when you use side light on a female. Again, we're getting just a couple of weird shadows on the face that aren't necessarily flattering, but your color, the movement, all of this is quite cool. I am looking into the shadow detail. Oops, I'm looking at, let me do this over here. This. So I am looking at what's happening in here and this kind of cloudy, and what's happening down here. Like, this is also kind of part of the picture, right? So I'm looking at down here and how this looks quite underexposed in these areas here where it actually starts to get a little noisy. Like, sadly, this part of the frame, and if we look at the whole picture again, that is actually happening to this much of the picture, Steve. So all of this and the exposure that you have happening in here is all quite under. So there has to be a way that you're using LED mixed with strobe, because the modeling light on the strobe isn't enough to give you the light that you need for the second curtain. That's why I actually see the seam in the fabric down here. I see the wrinkles in the fabric. All of that stuff I see because I see, oops, we're not supposed to see that one yet. Because I see all of this stuff here because of a lack of exposure. Now we're seeing all of this. Or like I actually don't think it's overexposure. But yeah, I'm just all of this stuff here is what I'm concerned about, Steve. Like, really, the idea is there, but doing second curtain on the black, that's now what I'm like, it has to be a little bit cleaner. But I've done this myself. I've done this myself on black and done like a double. Here it is. I've done this idea myself, and it's here. And you can see even here, this is a white wall, by the way. This is a white wall. And the way that I lit him from the side made, and I used a grid, and that made the background dark. But you can see over here where he's doing his first exposures, it's like the exposure gets better over here. But I'm using black and white, so you don't see that color-ish as much. You don't see that like color tone as much as you see in this photo. So that's my only concern, Steve. We can talk about that technically offline. But your attempts and just how much better your photography is getting, your frame, again, I want you to look at this as a double again, and you can see we could push her over just a touch in order, and then we could have this hand go up a little bit more so it doesn't interfere with the gutter. And again, this comes with like shooting tethered, having an overlay. So you're actually seeing, you're shooting tethered, and then you drop the overlay over, and then you show her the overlay and say, okay, we can't have anything on this line. So you work with her so she does the movement, so it actually, you get your perfect double page spread. Or you shoot vertical. Like, again, you shooting vertical is even harder because you have to give a little bit more space. Who has a question for me? Do portfolio shots always need to be Instagram sized or Instagram proof? I mean, portfolio website work is where things can be different. No. Daniel, this is a great question. And this is the way that I'm going to explain it. The way that I'm going to explain it is this. You need to learn how to shoot to a format. You need to learn how to shoot to multiple formats. Learning how to shoot to 8x10 is just like learning how to shoot for a magazine cover. It's very similar to learning how to shoot. The rules and formatting for Instagram. Should you be formatting for Instagram? No, but you should know what your pictures will look like on the social media platform that you're sharing to. And also, you should know that when you're shooting an 8x12, a magazine cover is a 9x12. So a 9x12 is in between 8x12, which is your full frame, and an 8x10. It's kind of in between there. But if you format with the mindset that you're shooting a 4x5 frame, it will definitely work for a magazine cover, and it'll work for Instagram. Talking about magazines in general, it's like, well, how often are you going to shoot for magazines? Well, I'm telling you, you'll never shoot with them for magazines if you don't understand how to shoot to layout. I'm teaching you how to shoot to layout. And whether you understand it today, I promise you, you'll understand it 3 years from now when these situations are locked in. Here's an example. Sean Thomas locked this stuff in really early with me as far as the formatting and how he should be shooting when it comes to double page spreads. And again, Sean's in my accelerator. Now, when you see his pictures, his verticals are all covers. They're all and yes, they also, let me hide that. They also work as a single. They work on Instagram. And his double, they're double page spreads. Like, he locked in the formatting. And now when you look at his portfolio, all his images already look like they've been in magazines. His work all looks like it's magazine work because he is shooting to the format of magazines. So one doesn't come before the other. You don't get to shoot for, here's the thing. You're never going to get hired to shoot for a magazine and then the magazine teach you the format. It doesn't happen. But if you can shoot for a magazine, you can shoot for any application. You can shoot for an ad. You can shoot for a billboard. You can shoot for a double page spread. You can shoot for transit. Like, just learning how to shoot to format is an essential skill. Teaching you how to shoot Instagram to Instagram, it's like first grade. I'm teaching you first grade first, so you can understand that there's going to be more and more complicated layouts. But if you shoot in this way, your work can be used in more formats. I hope that helps you. Is it possible I can share my double page spread and cover overlays as digital tools? That is very smart, Sean Thomas. And Sean is in chat, and I am looking at his work. So again, when you look at Sean's photos, does this not look like he shoots for magazines? Yes or yes? Does this not look like he shoots for magazines? Next, do you need to see the text? Do you need to see the magazine text on top of these photos to know that he shoots for magazines? No, you don't need to see the text. You don't need to see car and driver. You don't need to see all that stuff, because as a photographer, what we're showing is we understand that these photographs work also with text. So I shoot in a way that is very text friendly. This is somebody who shoots. Obviously, his stuff is going to work for Instagram. But look, this is a double page spread, but you're not seeing it as a double page spread. But as an art director, I'm looking and I'm like, this guy knows how to shoot to layout. This guy understands space. This guy understands details. This guy understands layout. Like, all of his pictures look like billboards. All of his pictures look like double page spreads. So if you want to know what happens first with editorial photography, the chicken or the egg? Do you get hired by magazines and then learn how to shoot for magazines? Or do you learn the magazine format first, show that in your portfolio, and then get hired by everybody? Which one do you think that it is? By the way, get hired by everybody and magazines. Also, if someone gets profiled in a magazine, like, this is the concept. Like, I'm teaching you stuff that is at such a frequency. It's like you almost like don't even know why you're doing it yet, but just do it, because at some point, years down the road, you're gonna be like, oh my God, Carty was teaching me how to shoot with design in mind, how to shoot. So not just for Instagram, but actually how to shoot to give my pictures space, to give them room, so when a designer looks at my work is desirable to them because they can work with my work. Guys, I hope that is a very clear explanation. All right, our next shooter is Kyle Gagne. Kyle says, forward pickup on the left of frame. This was an unused look from a previous Carty assignment, part of my early experimentation with environmental product photography. Sony A7 IV, Sony 90mm macro G, 1/200th of a second, f8 at ISO 100. Guys, this is Kyle Gagne. Kyle, let's get it on, Kyle. Well played, my guy. Kyle, I like this a lot. Let's look at this as a double. I mean, trucks are tricky across 2 pages, to be honest. Like, they really are. For me, this works, but I almost want to see a little bit more of the side and the front of the truck at the same time. Let me hide my double. Let me word that a little bit better. So, what I would like to see, a little bit more of this side of the truck. Just a touch. And also because now where the gutter drops, you can see here where the gutter drops right on the mirror, this doesn't work well when it like folds in like that. So it's a little bit tricky. Also, let me hide me. The way that the framing here, and then you can see the cutting of the wheel and the wheel well and all this stuff. Like, Kyle, as a double page spread, this doesn't work, but on your website portfolio, like it will. You know what I mean? It will. But again, I just want you to watch these small things. Also, the horizon, like where you're dropping the horizon line, is kind of distracting the top hood of the truck. In this situation, the contrast between this and the sky is so great. I know you have this beautiful mist in here, but I would love you to lower yourself in this frame. Like, this is one of those things where the stance of the truck is really important. And when you're shooting cars, this is something that I taught Sean. You have to shoot cars lower. You have to shoot them lower to the point where you actually almost are seeing, you're almost seeing underneath here. Like, that shows the scale of how high this truck is off the ground. And it also drops this horizon line down here. So now the truck stands more like a mountain. Like, you're making it more ominous by lowering your perspective. This is another secret to car photography. And if you look at Sean's stuff, this is something that you can see he uses it here, where it's like the super low. Oops, I missed that picture. This one here. This super low perspective on cars so you can see underneath the car is an ism. So you actually you actually have to apply that with the truck and the way that you're shooting the truck. Here's another example of like low. So see what you can do. I mean, if this is your truck, you can go out there and shoot it again. So I want to see some stuff where I'm seeing the stance of this truck a little bit lower. And you can see Sean did that here, where he pushed the horizon of the mountains above the hood of above the top of the car, and as well here, where he's like super low. This one. So something to try, Kyle. Again, I think it's the one thing that's going to take this from, it's going to make it look even more like advertising. And it's going to make this logo, this grill, and this part of the truck a little bit more dominant. So don't try to hit the top of the hood too much, but underneath and this clearance, all that stuff, and just seeing a little bit of a gap underneath. And also it's going to kick a little bit of light under here and give you some separation with the tires. So small thing, but again, this is a dope shot. You should be thrilled. That is Kyle Gagne. Kyle. Oh, by the way, guys, we have new trickery, as you're noticing here. Some new trickery. Obviously, all my commands are working. If you're a member, you can actually make all kinds of things happen. A new thing that I added, you can change that color of the light right there. You see how I just made it red? Thank you. You can make that red. This my high quality content graphic. All of that stuff you can do if you're a member. You can make that red simply by becoming a member. And also if you make it red, I will give you even more than that. If you make it red, I'll give you even more than that. I'll give you a little bit of a smoke show. If you become a member. But that's just, member stuff. We'll make the lights go vibes. This is all, when people become members live, we like to make it a vibe. Oh my goodness, I'm being glitched. This happens every once in a while too. These guys, they do this. This is what happens when you give your members stream control. This is what happens when you give your members stream control. They actually go a little bit crazy. But yeah, I think I don't know why pick didn't happen. Apologize, Steven. Yeah, that's curious. Pick. Did I take it off? Yeah, it's not on my list anymore. It's not on my list because I replaced it. Yeah, I think I took it off. I don't see it here. My list of commands that I've given you. But if you do 10 commandments, if you do the commandments, 10 commandments, I think, um, yeah, I think if you just, or just, it's commandments. That's the one for the, oh, there you go. You see? Steve, it happened. It just happened late. My guy, I apologize. Apologize. Yeah, it's funny. So let's look at David Holmes. David says, this is Mana 7D Mark II, 24 to 24 millimeter, 2.8. F is at 7.1, 1/250th of a second, ISO 200. This is David Holmes. David, this is the beginning of you in a situation where you could have just taken this girl's picture, but you actually shifted it and actually made a photo here. Like you brought her to a location, there's leading line, there's color, the color matches what she's wearing. This is obviously like, as far as will this go in your portfolio, I'm not sure if this would go in your portfolio, especially compared to some of the other stuff. And because of the pageantry, I know you've just taken her off and made a photo, but this proves to me that you can do it. It proves to me that you can go the extra mile when you're shooting these type of photos or when you're taking these photos. And this is how you turn a taken photo into a made photo. And you did it here very well. Again, I'll say, I'm not sure if this picture will go in your portfolio, like whether this will actually make it, if this is going to be, if this is going to, I'm not sure if this is going to make it, but just because we have to look through your whole book. But as far as how far you've come, this is such a jump. Let's look at this as a 4x5. And you can even see here as an 8x10, this works, or 4x5 proportion. This works perfectly. And it also cuts out that part of the ground that I'm not too thrilled about. Like if you lost all of this, no one would miss it, right? Like now you can see that tone, that little, this is for blind people, those bumps to know that the ramp is about to end. That now looks like something, David. So you can see you are on your way. You're on your way. It's just like you just needed a little bit of a zhuzh. You can see also you can take this and move this up a little bit without. Yes, it's still a little bit tight, but still it would work. You know, it would work perfectly. Guys, David, this is good. You should be absolutely thrilled. Again, it's not going to go in your book because you're even better than this. But this proves to me that you can pluck a subject out of a scene and put them in the right spot and make a photo, which is what we do as photographers. Guys, this is David Holmes. David, well done. Well done, well done. All right, who's next? This is Natalie Murdoch. Natalie says, hello, this is shot on a sunny day in our city. I was trying to create something that might work for a fitness article. Sony AR7 Mark II. Sorry, I'm not a Sony shooter yet. Did I say yet? Sony AR7 Mark II, 50 millimeter, 1/200th of a second, ISO 200 f9. Natalie Murdoch. By the way, I would 1/200th of a second, ISO 200 f9. I would take a Sony sponsorship and leave Canon if Sony wanted to talk to me, FYI. Let's look at the one and only Natalie Murdoch. Natalie, you're starting to get it. For me, your perspective is a little high. I would like you to be lower with this because I want to see what lens you're shooting with. I feel like you're shooting 85. No, that's not. Natalie's shooting 55 millimeter lens. Okay. So if you're shooting with a 55, I want you to lower yourself because because of the way she's bending, you need to be lower so your catch, because right now this foot looks super tiny. This foot looks tiny compared to her waist and compared to this upper part of her body. It's because like you're hitting her too, like, I don't want to say down, but you are hitting her like down just a little bit. What I would do is lower yourselves. You see how you're actually seeing the top of the steps here? The top of the steps. Now, if you lower yourself, you see how over here you don't see any steps. You no longer see steps because you're lower than that. So if you lowered yourself, you actually wouldn't see steps at all, but you'd still see the shadows from the steps. So you could actually really play design wise to see how this shadow looks super weird. If you had lowered yourself and pulled her off the wall a little bit, moved yourself over and given your just a little bit of scale and hidden this, now you can have that stretch. You can have her posed, but that it's a weird shadow going up the background, which would look like a wall. It would look like a solid wall, but it's actually stairs. Your idea is dope though. Let's look at it closer. This one brings me closer. Technically, we're okay. There's some skin retouching that I definitely need you to be working on. There's definitely a couple of bumps and stuff like that that you can get here. A couple of things that you can fix up here. She has a hole in her ear with no earring, which I always take that hole away. Yeah, these a couple of small things, you know, like dust here. If she has a padded sports bra, then you can blend out some of these edges to make it look like you don't see those pads. Couple of little things back here that we can fix. That little dimple we can just push in. This shadow we can. I mean, that shadow doesn't bother me. But she's fit. She's got what are they called? Goosebumps because she's cold. She has the skin of a goose. And then lastly, just make sure that she's got like fresh shoes on. You know what I mean? Like if she had fresh, punchy colored shoes, because these are Nikes, right? But we're not seeing enough of the shoe because of the way that this foot is turned. And you can see this, her shoes, she's had these for a while. They're like a little dirty in the whites. They're a little worn on the bottom. Like, so if she had fresh shoes, now this becomes an ad for Nike. If you shoot it, hey, FF, welcome. If you shoot it low enough, then it becomes an ad for Nike. And then if you also have her wearing Nike tights and a Nike bra, now it's an ad for something. Now you can tag Nike, but you can't if she's wearing older, dirty shoes. Like that's just something like it's kind of a no-go for portfolios. Like if you're showing shoes, they have to be freshies because it lowers your brand. And if you're not noticing the shoes, you're not paying attention to enough details. Yeah, that's super simple. If you're not noticing the shoes, and if you look at my portfolio, that's something that it's something because I'm constantly shooting apparel and shooting full length, but I won't show the full length unless the shoes are fresh. Like that's just an ism. You don't get to see the feet unless the shoes are absolutely right. If the shoes are right, then you're allowed to see the feet. And here's an example of what I'm talking about. Brand new shoes out of the box, Nike logo, Nike shoes, Nike tights, and then like it's all one system. There's nothing that's like, and here fresh Vans. You can see the Vans are like the perfect shoe for this kind of a girl and this kind of an outfit. Timberland here, George Strombolopoulos, he's wearing custom Legend knits, kicks. So, and of course they match. Look at Pharrell Williams. Pharrell is wearing Adidas Gazelles and he picked the jacket because the jacket matched. Like, This the only time that you show footwear is when you have, I mean, come on. It's the only time that you show footies is you have to be they have to be perfect. And again, appropriate, perfect shoes. It's like it actually is an ism. So if you're a photographer and you are not paying attention to the footwear, you are doing yourself a huge disservice. Like you see how detailed I am about all of my details, all of my little details in my photographs. So, that's how crazy you have to be, Natalie. But I'm proud of you because you're back to submitting, you're back out there and you're back shooting. I need you now to just be obsessive about looking at, if you're shooting yoga, if you're shooting fitness, like look at fitness ads before you shoot. Before you shoot, it's going to help you so much. It's going to help you so much if you look before, like before you shoot something, do research to be so you know what you should be shooting, like the level that it needs to be. Because if not, you're just executing ideas with only you as a reference, and you need more than that. So obsess over looking at references before you work. I hope that helps you. This is Natalie. Thank you, Natalie. Natalie Murdoch, everybody. All right, our next shooter is Joshua Haney. Joshua he said, I revisited this shot earlier this year. There were a few issues with the framing when I submitted last time. We have a lot of outdoor recreation here in Utah. I'd love to work with those brands that align with lifestyle. Thank you. R6 85mm f2.8, 1/200th of a second. ISO 800. No, that's a lie. 2.8, ISO 200, 1/800th of a second. That's what I'm trying to say. Guys, this is Joshua Haney. Joshua, why is my heart rate not showing on that page? This is my question. 1 second here. Let me figure this out. That is very bizarre. Why it's not showing on that page. YouTube overlays. Okay, that is why. All right, I got it. Let me just add that scene. So funny, man, because I'm doing this live. And, this is how we go. Okay. It's not there twice, right? No, it is not. All right. So now you should, hey, look at me. I made it work. The only reason is because chat, and I took this off so chat couldn't show up. But I'm okay with chat showing up. If you guys are okay with chat seeing this while I'm doing my photo reviews, it does disappear. All right, guys, that was Natalie. Natalie, thank you. Let's look at our next. It is Joshua, right? Joshua. So Joshua says that he revisited this shot this year. Let me fix to that shot. Ah, yes, wicked. And there was a few issues with the framing when I submitted. And so this is Joshua Lifestyle shot at R6 85mm 2.8 200th of a second at ISO 800. Joshua Haney. Joshua, here we go. Now we're rocking and rolling. Joshua, yeah, this is exactly what I asked for. And your framing was off a little bit last time. This picture ended like here. Basically, I think it was pushed even more over. I don't remember the original, but I do remember that there was a framing issue. Let's look at this as a cover. Like, yes, dude. Yes. Look at this as a cover. It so works for me. Show transition, limo wipe. Yeah, this works for me. And again, look at it as a cover. It's actually quite dope as a cover. Yeah, I like it. I like it as a cover. I actually do. It seems like this is the exact picture that I asked for, really. Let me hide the cover. Let me show you this as like this works as an 8x10. It works on socials. You can drop the horizon line relatively low. Like this is a perfect frame, Joshua, a perfect frame, and is definitely a picture for your portfolio. This is like without question. This is a yes without question, mister. This is absolutely smashing, and an 11. So yes, 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 Joshua. This is yes, 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 yes. Are you guys still with me? You too? Sorry, gotta change my camera. You and you. Are you with me? I know at sometimes these guys been watching me for so long. You know, I don't even know. I don't think they know where they are. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this. This is the Carty method. Let's get into our next shooter. Our next shooter is Daniel Van Cleef. Daniel says, this is my editorial environmental, environmental editorial shot. I shared some of my older work so far to see if it fits for my portfolio, but now I'd like to showcase something more recent. This is a shot I did for a friend of my girlfriend. So small clothing brand. So basically, her clothing designs complemented the natural surroundings near his home, earthy tones, beautiful with the autumn landscape. Selected this shot to add to his portfolio potentially. Shot with the Fuji X Pro 3, ISO 320, 500th of a second, f14 with a 50 millimeter. This is Daniel Van Cleef. Daniel, look at this guy swinging for the fences. Like, let me see this as a cover. Like, this is such an editorial picture. My only concern is I want to see this as an 8x10. I want to see how it frames. This is what I thought it was like. I thought it would kind of be a little tight, Daniel, for an 8x10. You can see how tight the framing is. Like, this is what it would look like when you post it to Instagram. It is quite tight. Small things, man, just give your pictures just a little bit more space. As a 9x12, it would definitely work for your portfolio, but I just want you to be considering that when it comes to your future work. That's it. Will it go in your portfolio? Absolutely. Let's look at it fully sized. I mean, this is great Rembrandt light, great tattoos. It's just like great subject. Great picture. These labels here, I would do my best to, you can take this out in post unless this is somehow valuable to your client, what brand her wraps are. But I would take those out because it's a little distracting. But other than that, you can see here, like they actually, these two tags do stand out. So I would take those out. But other than that, this is fire. There's a little bit of a hair flip here, which you could also fix. There's a little bit of bright here that you could take away. Small little bits that you could take away down here. But this is 100% yes for me, for your portfolio, Daniel. This is a yes. That small thing with the framing, though, bro, believe me, when, like, if I wanted this to go full length in my magazine, and my magazine was 9x12, and now this doesn't fit full length without me putting borders down the side, I'd be upset. You know what I mean? I'd be upset because it's like the only thing that you have to do as the photographer is do this. Like one step back. That's it. And it's like, it just gives you so many more options for layout, like so many more options. And do that, and designers, art directors will actually love you. All you need to do is step back, like one step back. Like once you do that, designers, art directors are gonna just, oh, look at this guy's work. They'll be able to tell that you shoot for magazines, even if you haven't. Like that's the whole vibe. That's how I started shooting for magazines. I just studied and I shot the format of magazines from when I was like 19, because that also was the format for model portfolios. So I was shooting in the format of model portfolios, not knowing that that format was editorial magazine format. And then I learned through osmosis how to shoot for magazines that way. And then I got published when I was 19. So it's like, yeah, I shot my first cover. I shot my first cover 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I shot my first cover. Like, that's mental. I was like 20. I'm like, no, 30, dude. Like, in my third year in business. So I've been doing this for 30 years. Wow, crazy. All right. Our next photographer is Juan Herrera. By the way, Daniel, great job. Juan Herrera says, hey, Steve and Carty crew, here's a portrait I'm considering to add to my portfolio. I'd love some... I'm glitching. I'd love some... I'd love some feedback on whether this is portfolio ready. EOS R 24-105, 70 millimeter, ISO 100, f10, 1/60th of a second. Guys, this is Juan Herrera. Juan, let's go, baby. Juan, this is technically yes. This is technically a yes. And is it for your portfolio? Yes. Yes. The answer? Yes. I'm going to say it again. Yes. How about this? I'm going to say it again. Yes. 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 How about this? This one. Yes. How about that? How about that? How about this one? How about this one?
Yes. Yes. Juan Herrera. This is a portfolio picture. Yes.
How about this one? Juan Herrera. Yes, this is a portfolio picture. Yes. Yes, Juan, you killed it. This is fantastic. And again, you're an amazing shooter. I want you to I just want you to get another camera body. That's all. I just want you to get off the EOS R. That's all. I just want you to get onto an R5. Like, this is good. I almost swore. This is really great. Like, really, really, really great. You should be absolutely thrilled with this. I am. This is fantastic. So, one, is this a portfolio picture? Yes. Do you need to do more of this? Yes. Do you need to execute this close-up kind of vibe more? Yeah. This is where you notice the EOS R business. This is where you notice the EOS R business is in here in the highlights. You see that? That's where you see it. Like, that's where you see it. Like, the tonal range here. That's how I can tell that this and your exposure in here, this is over by I'm going to say 10%. And that's like how I split my stops into tens, not thirds, but into tens. So I give you 10% increments as far as, so you could drop the exposure 10%. You could reduce the highlights in post a little bit, but you can't do it so much that it feels muddy. And the thing is it's so clean. This is why I just want you with a new sensor, my guy. But this is an 11, by the way, if I didn't give you an 11. And this is Juan Herrera. And yes, that's in your portfolio, my guy. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Hit the join button, please. I want to see I want to see my lights go. I want to see my, I want to do some light show. I didn't really think that my lights in the background would be the eye from my join button. I never thought that was going to be the case, but you see, it's the eye from my join button. That's hilarious. By the way, speaking of, you can follow me on Instagram. I have a pretty cool Instagram. And you can also follow the Carty Method on Instagram, which are these viewers that I'm looking at right now. That is your Instagram account. It is run by the wonderful Vicky Sonic, who is a photographer who is part of my program. I've been teaching Vicky for over 3 years now. Vicky's fantastic. She does majority of my social media, not my own personal, but she runs the Carty Method, TikTok, the Carty Method. And also, yeah, if you're into TikTok, you can follow me there. I put short form content there as well. Shh, Vicky does it. But yes, guys, please follow me on the socials. And if you like this kind of stuff, please, you have your photos looked at by me by going to this link. Good show so far for me. Good show so far. Pretty happy. Pretty happy. I got a smile on my face. Let's check my heart rate. Make sure I'm not dying. Yeah, my heart rate hasn't gone over 100 yet. Let me know if it goes over 100 because that means that means like I don't know. Yo, Garan Wrath with the gifties. Let's get it on. Garan, how come I didn't get alerted? Where's my alerts? Dude, that upsets me. They're on too. Yeah, that's weird. Why did I not get alerted? Or maybe it's just going to take a second. Oh, it's definitely like it's reciprocating right now. But Garan Wrath, thank you so much for gifting 5. Let's see if my lights change. I want to see because this is like, oh my goodness, is like everything broken today? Garan, thank you so much. It's still reconciling this, Garan. This is why my alert hasn't gone off yet because it hasn't like, it's still just doing this. It's spinning. I'm seeing like recipient. That's why it hasn't said who the recipients are. Yo, Cinema Contrast, New York. Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's like he's coming all the way from Africa. It's so funny. All right, thank you. By the way, Grant, you're a G. And again, all of my activities haven't gone yet because it hasn't done it yet. It's so funny. Okay, so this is Samuel Salling. Samuel, let's have a look at Samuel. Samuel says, next portfolio consideration, natural light close to a window, reflector, light, skin, retouch, dodge and burn, but not behaving is hair removal. Let's have a look at this Sony A7 IV with a Sony 90mm macro, ISO 500, 1/100th of a second, f5.6. Hey, here we go. Now it is saying, there we go. Now it is saying the alerts have gone. And I can tell you that SB Blaze was gifted by Garin. And Tyler Trace was gifted by Garin. There you go. Stevie C was gifted by Garin. Also, Steve's Creative Sessions was gifted by Garin. Also, Andre Terry was, and again, you guys see now here, I have your name down here, but it's only showing the last one. So I have a feeling Andre Terry is going to be the last one. But yeah, that's very bizarre that I'm not hearing the audio alerts, and I'm not hearing Cheryl, and in my gift recipients, it's still spinning. It's very weird. All right, let's get into Samuel. So portfolio consideration for Samuel. Samuel, thanks for submitting. So there's a couple of things that I see here. First thing I see is her headspace is a little low in the frame. Like you've dropped your eye line quite low in the frame. And I'm seeing like it's dropping across here. We don't need this much gap above her head on a horizontal. Like we don't need that much. Like essentially in this, I would cut her head right across the top. I would cut her hair like here. Even more powerful, you can cut across her forehead, like right here, or even lower. Like you can cut across her forehead right here. Like we don't need to see as much as you're showing. There's a couple of like, she's a little puffy. Like, I don't know whether that she's tired or what, but you can see there's like a little bit of puffiness in her skin. And because you're shooting so close up and you're lighting her from the side, this is like side light is never really flattering for women, especially women that are over 19 years old, because they have to have immaculate skin for you to be able to light them from the side. And you can see this is like, look at her pores. And the reason that you see her pores like this is it's like putting a pencil in the snow in the wintertime, and like, what kind of a shadow is this pencil? Because the only time there'll be no shadow is at 12 noon, which is directly front down, even front light, which is why you always hear me say I light females from the front. It's because of this. It's because of this. It's because of all of these pores. It's because it actually accentuates every flaw. That's what you're doing when you're shooting with side light. And yes, your secondary reflector is actually low. And I can see it here. You're bringing it in from the bottom, which sadly is the equivalent of like when you hold a flashlight under your chin. The reflector comes from underneath only sometimes, and rarely is it the silver side. And I can also tell here that this looks very much like the silver side of the reflector, yes or yes. And because of that, the fill is too much, and it's up fill. So it ends up being like a little bit odd with the shadow. So for me, like, the light is not right for this face. I would not light this girl from the side. I would 100% light her from the face, from the front, because that's going to fill this and this and this and this. The other thing is she's unsure. The reason that I know that she's unsure, it's because of what she's doing right there in between her eyebrows. She's doing like, see, like that furrow is like the same point. She's doing a furrow and she's pushing her lips out because they are freshly injected. So all of these things, it's like, she's trying to be something that she's not, and it's just not, it doesn't work. So I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just saying, like, all of these things when I'm shooting a subject in an intimate way like this, where you can't hide from a high resolution camera this close to your face. You can't hide. So if you're doing this, like, you're gonna see it. So just say, don't do that thing with your mouth. Just relax. Just like, look at me. You know what I mean? And because there's no like smile, or there's no, like, she's just trying to be sexy, it feels like. So because of that, and because she's not like an 18-year-old supermodel, it feels like she's trying too hard. And again, all of this stuff is what goes through the mind. I'm just saying the things that other people are thinking when they look at types of photography without articulating it. Like, I'm able to articulate it. So for all of those reasons, Samuel, and for the kind of photography that I know that you have the potential to make, I don't think it's strong enough for your book. I feel like it and also it just, it pulls it down, and the energy of your book needs to be a little bit more up. Even if the same woman, photograph her with front light and have a white reflector underneath, now she's bright, fashion light on her face, and you're actually not making her look tired. You know what I mean? And then change the expression, have her a little bit brighter, and now it's a whole other photo. So for me, it's not there. And the eye line is too low. The picture, it feels too low in the frame. This would work better as a vertical. That, again, look at this as a vertical, and then I just take this vertical frame and I just frame it like that. Like, to me, that's your photo. Everything else is just, it's like extra. And if you want to go even further, you punch in even closer, and you punch in even closer, and then this becomes your picture. So for me, that's your photo, but front light, if that makes any sense. I hope that helped you, my friend. That is the one and only Samuel Saling. I don't think that's a picture. I don't think that needs to go in your book, honestly. Just shoot more faces, find more females in that age range that you can show and prove that you can crush. If you're shooting in studio, front light, my friend, for females, front light. Don't be lighting them from the side because they're going to hate you because it's not flattering. Light your grandpa. Light a distinguished gentleman from the side because those wrinkles, it's character. For a female, it's flaws. So your job is to hide flaws for a female, which you can do with light. I hope that helped you, Mr. Saling. That was Samuel Saling, everybody. Who's next? This is Anna Kaya. Anna says ballet danza in front of a dark background. Thank you, Grant. So Carty, this is my next portfolio consideration image. I've captured this portrait during a ballet photography workshop. Thank you for your feedback. 85, 3.5, 100th of a second, ISO 125. This is Anna Kaya. Anna, let's go. Anna, this is lovely. Again, I feel similar with the lighting style. You're lighting her. This is like negative light, which again, it's quite beautiful, but I feel that there's like almost like an underlight that's happening here, and it's pushing shadow here and also shadow above her eye. So like what's happening on this side of the face is like I'm seeing, and then I'm also seeing this line and the wrinkles, and like it's like I see why you're lighting it this way, but I feel like you've gone too far with this light, meaning you went too far that way. So this is too radically sideways. And then the light here, this rear light here is fine. I have no issues with the light that's coming back here, but it's the reflector that's coming in here that's lighting, giving you a highlight on the underside of the chin, on the underside of the cheek. It's shadowing up here. And it's giving this upper part of the nose a shadow, and up here. So the reflector on this side can't come from low. It has to come from high. Like, I can't explain it any other way. Like, you can't put the reflector on here. You put the reflector up here and aim it down. So the reflector is kicking back down like another perfectly placed light source. But when it's under here, I see so many photographers holding the reflector under. The only time that it's under is when you're doing like beauty from the back and you have a reflector underneath here. Sometimes I use gold. Most of the time I use white. You've seen me do it in studio, and I also will take it away if it fills in too much. That's why I use white. But when it's off to one side, that's when it starts to do really weird things with the light. So I'm trying to reconcile the light on this photo. I'm trying to reconcile what's happening in the main part of the picture, which is here, and how this light up here, Anna, is not like here. Hello. This light here, like what's happening on this side of the eye and this shadow that's up here. This is what I'm trying to reconcile. And this shadow that's pushed from her lip that gets pushed up here. That's what I'm trying to figure. So you can see when I'm close here, how you can see all of the texture of her skin. It's just because of this radical side light. And then the second eye here, you can see how there's another inner shadow here of light that's happening because this side light is coming from too much from that direction. It's too much from the side. You can get the same feeling with the placement of the light. If this is her and this is you shooting, you have one light back here that's doing this highlight. You have another light that is radically from the side, which is too far from the side. And then you have a reflector down here underneath kicking in back here. So this light moves to here. So it's actually hitting her a little bit more frontal, which is going to let some of that light bleed on this side of the face. And then this reflector moves a little bit this way, and it comes from more the top, not the bottom. That's how you correct this and make it feel way more clean in here, because that's the main part of the picture. And then on the highlight side, so we don't have it's not so wrinkle predominant. As like, again, I'm not trying to be like an ultimate critic, but these kinds of nuances that I show, it's like it's 30 years experience, like 34 years. Hey Tony, thanks for joining us. It's like 34 years of experience lighting in the studio and like going through these scenarios, and I know exactly where you're placing your lights. Like the evidence is right here. I follow, like I know exactly what you're doing. So just tweak this from underneath to above. And when you're trying to get half light on the face, you don't need to be half on. You can do like, you can literally be at 45 degrees and still get the feeling of half light, only more flattering. I hope that brought you value, Anna. Guys, this is Anna Kaya. All right. Anna. And again, like you have so much from that series. Let me see more. Let me see more from that series. And yeah, like you're such a good shooter, Anna. This is also why like I can talk to you with like this kind of nuance, because I know you know what I mean, and I know that you see what I see, because you're as critical with your own work as I am. So well done though. And again, you're pushing into new barriers, which is super necessary. And don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. All right. This is our next shooter. This is Nick Johnson. Nick says something from a recent beauty test shoot. R6 70-200 f16 1/200th of a second. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nick Johnson. Nick, well played, Nick. YSL, brush, nails, head angle. Let me look at this as a cover. I do like this. I do like this as a cover. Let me hide that. Let me see this as a 8x10. This also I like. I could take the crop down as far as this far. I would actually be quite radical with my crop, Nick. I would do that as far as where I would frame it. The placement with the fingers is a little tricky. I mean, I definitely see what you were doing. Just the placement with the fingers. I wish that this brush was here, so it wasn't against the black, so we actually saw this brush just a little bit more. So if this was here instead. The nails, I don't mind. It's just this gap between the finger here. Now it shows the inside of her palm a little bit too much for me, which I would cut that out altogether. Head angled, I don't mind, but her eyes are so striking. I would love like to see her face like more straight on. She also has a really strong jawline, so I really love how you played this along the jawline. I would even play that up a little bit more, but we're only seeing that jawline on one side. I'd really love to see it on the other side with her face squared up. Eyebrows super predominant, which I love. Makeup really well done. Your exposure is spot on. I just want to see her nails a little bit closer up. Want to see the nails a little bit closer. It looks like you did a little bit of work in here. A little bit of work in here. And in here. Just make sure, again, as I'm always saying, like check a girl's nails. I can see that we're losing that edge right here. This looks like it's from retouching. And again, yes, I am not a crazy person. Do you see the retouching that's happening here? Yeah, so this is a hard part. And also up here, Nick, here. We're losing the shine here. So this is tricky, but again, this is the kind of details. If your hands are going to be in the shot, this is the kind of detail that you have to pay attention to. I like the tone of the nail polish. Like, this is a yes for me, Nick. I'm going to give you love, but I know that this will be one of those shots that in time won't be in your portfolio. You know, like, it's one of those, like, your work is so fire. Again, Nick is in my accelerator. He's also like just nickjohnson.net. He's also just like, he just gets it. You know what I mean? So like, Nick, understand that, like, do you know what I mean? When you have, like, this is your portfolio, right? Like, this is your portfolio. So know that, like, when you have this shot in your book, you see the head angle, and then you see the head angle here. I want you to be really working on squaring your model's faces up forward. You see the head angle here? You see how it's like the same head angle here, the same head angle here, the same head angle here. It's almost like you like your models to be this way. So don't let it become an ism. Like, don't let it become an ism. Like, watch. Now when I'm scrolling through, look, that side of the face, that side of the face, that side of the face. Ah, the other side of the face. Straight on. Like, this you have to hit straight on way more often. Way more often. Straight on. But you see how you have a tendency to be one side of the face, the other side of the face. Yes or yes? Do you see your, so that's an ism. Head this way, head this way, head this way, head this way. That's an ism. So you now have to shoot more of this with the face squared up. So that's something like, again, you see how much, like, I love this with the face squared up. So just like work on that part of it, face squared up. But for me, you have so many bangers in your portfolio, like that I think are a little stronger than this. But I see the need for this within your book. So just watch your isms. That's all. Just watch your isms. Like, but also, Nick, this is in your portfolio. Oh, no, that's Liza. I know for sure that that's Liza. So sorry. And it's so funny. I skipped the next picture thinking that it was, but no, I knew as soon as I saw it, I'm like, nope, that's Liza Hyder. That's Liza Hyder. That is our next person here in my folder. Apologies, Liza. So, Nick, yes, this is very, very close. Where did my, here we go. Yeah, very close, Nick. And again, I know how strong your portfolio is. I know what you have in there. Like, is this ready for it right now? You know? And again, are there other shots? Are there other edits? Let me look at other edits. You know what I mean? Let me look at other edits. Let me look at other edits even before you retouch. Don't waste any time retouching. Let me look at other edits and I'll help you. Yeah, but Nick, you're like, you understand, we're up here and we're deciding between here and here. We're deciding like up in this upper echelon. And I also need to go through your book and do an edit. Now that you're creating all this other firework, now I have to help you pull some of it away, some of the older stuff away, so we don't dilute the newer killer stuff. Cool? Guys, this is Nick Johnson. Nicky Johnson. Nick. Well played. All right. Liza Hyder. Liza. It's so funny, Liza, because your style is becoming so recognizable that as soon as it came into my mouth, I'm like, that's not true. That's Liza. That's Liza's work. This is Elizabeth posing in front of a hot pink light at the Seattle Museum of Pop Culture. I asked Elizabeth to line the pavement for me. I discovered and studied the light for a week before our session. I discovered and studied the light 1 week prior to our session. Light is sunlight bouncing off a hot pink acrylic window. The light was refracting all over the place. This shoot was combined with one of my earlier Carty assignments this year. Nikon D850 with a 50 millimeter lens, 1/250th of a second, f8, ISO 200. Liza Hyder. Liza. Like, I mean, I'm so proud of you for how far you've come with your photography. And in fact, where you've placed this hand on the gutter exactly actually works. It actually works because her hand, the magazine is going to close on her hand. And when you open the magazine, it's going to seem like her hand is opening. Like, Liza, this is crazy good. Crazy good. So proud of you, girl. Like, this is amazing, Liza. Like, holy moly. Let's look at the focus. Liza, like, you understand. And by the way, Liza's shooting with like a 10-year-old camera body. Like, she's shooting also with an older Nikon D810. She's not shooting with the Z series yet. Like, this is her shooting with old tech and how good she is. And also, Liza, she's been doing this for a minute, and you can see, like, Liza was trying to do a bunch of different things before. She was trying to be a fashion designer and photographer, and now she's all in on photography, and you can see it's like it's going through her veins. It's literally moving through her veins. This is absolutely incredible, Liza. Like, I'm beyond happy. Beyond happy. This gives me great joy. Great joy to give you an 11 on this picture, Liza. This is absolutely fantastic. Like, wow. Oh yeah. It can go in your portfolio. You're allowed. It can go in your book. It's allowed. Holy moly. Mole. Crazy. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. Whew. Okay, let's see. Our next shooter is Anton Dudis. Anton says, hello, fellow travelers. This time, let me take you on an Indiana Jones style adventure to the Angkor Wat Temple, hidden in the heart of the Cambodian jungle. Sony A6600, Sigma 18-50, ISO 500, 2.8, 1/80th of a second. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Anton Dudis. Anton. Wow, brother. Wow. Like, look at the scale. The scale is quite beautiful. I love the feeling of this picture. Let's see this as the cover of Carty Method magazine. Yes, like, this is a yes. By the way, do you like the new cover art? We changed the cover art, people. I spent quite a bit of time designing this magazine cover art. Guys, Anton, this is nice, my guy. I really feel this. Let's hide that, and let's look at this as an 8x10. As an 8x10, this really holds true as well. Look at this as an 8x10. You actually don't lose much of the vibe of this photo at all. You could also scale it up to here and give a little bit more headroom, but this all works for me. I'm incredibly thrilled with this picture. And can it go in your portfolio? The answer is unequivocally yes, Anton. This is a banger, definitely a portfolio picture, and definitely something that you should keep moving forward. Like, yes, it's great. You're another one that I can't wait for you to get an Alpha Series body. Or do you have an Alpha Series body? I don't know Sony's as well as I know Canon's, but the 6600 feels like it's not one of the A7 blah blah blahs. So I feel like a new camera body for you, it's going to be a life-changing experience. So that's something I would love you to be looking into. And also, it's going to make your files better. It's going to make your files look better in print. It's going to be better for when you do billboards and when you're shooting campaigns, when you go to airports and there's huge, massive travel photos that are yours. The higher the resolution camera that you can get, the better. All for you, my friend. But this is Anton Dudas. Anton, an 11 from me, my friend. Yes. You wrote to Baby Jesus for an A7 R5. Well, I feel like the Baby Jesus will get you one of those. I also know who this photographer is because this shooter is really starting to niche himself into a little groove. Niche himself into a little groove, this guy. You know, I'm actually impressed with how hard the shooter's been working over the last little while. Yo, this is a self-directed shoot from past summer. I originally intended to use this waterfall as a location as a backdrop, but I decided that I really liked this composition. I ended up having to use a rather high ISO in order to keep my shutter speed high enough to almost freeze the water in action and avoid shooting wide open. Curious to know if this works or if I need to go back to a faster, shorter depth of field and lower ISO. Thank you for the review. Nikon Z6 Mark II 24-70 f4 shot at 50. Again, you should get a 50. Get a 50. That's another thing for you. That would help you greatly, Taylor. 5.6, 125 at ISO 2000. This is Taylor Valentine. Taylor. Well, this I like a lot. Like this is, I'm going to say a yes for me. I'm going to say a yes. I mean, I would love the product to be, I'd love you to be able to get what this is right away a little bit faster, because I know that this is likely a water filtration system that you have collecting water in a river. The noise, the ISO, like it's actually almost unnoticeable, to be honest. Taylor, I don't really notice the grain or the ISO. Like that's not really a factor, which is great. I do notice tonally, though, how this color is hard to recognize against the color underneath it. And I note that this piece of plastic is hard to note the piece of plastic underneath the color. And this nozzle is hard to catch under like all of this foam. So this hose is our anchor that tells us like what's happening here, but it doesn't come quick enough because I feel like this red under here, we don't see it enough because of the color underneath. I feel like that's my only thing. Now, it's monochromatic, which works. It's formatted properly, which works, meaning it looks amazing as a cover. Like it actually works as a cover. So, like, it's hard because I know what you're trying to do. And I don't think, to be honest, that you're that far off. Like, this is so close. I would love you to be using a little bit more of this space down here, you know, and like perhaps that's the thing is that this drops like a little bit maybe to like here. But again, composition, it's all like this is a tricky one for me, Taylor. Like honestly, this is a tricky one. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, but I like it and I like what you're doing, and I think it should go in your portfolio. But this is one of those ones that like not sure how long it'll last, and possibly one that I would want to see you try again to just watch how the height of this versus the height of this, work on getting them either to travel from here like up to here, or have them like on the same height a little bit more. Work on getting a little bit of separation between the cap and the background, and work on getting separation from this part of the device and the background and our nozzle down here in the background. Like, but again, all the other things with the monochromatic and everything like that, you got to keep all of those things. Like, I literally want you to add to this picture by doing it again, but don't ruin what you already have. Does that make any sense? It's tricky, but which was what I would just say, shoot it again. I would just say, shoot it again in a new location. I think that that's going to help you a lot. It's like I'm glitching so often here today. My word. I'm like glitching like it's my job. Lots of glitches today. All right. Glitches get you stitches. All right. Let's see another photographer. I want to see who I got next on my agenda. That was Taylor Valentine. This is Mike Morrison. Mike, this is a 68 Plymouth Barracuda. Ow, Barracuda. A7R5 with a 70-200 GM, Grandmaster Mark II, shot at 200, 250 per second, shot at 200 millimeter, ISO 250, 5.6, ISO 500. This, guys, is Mike Morrison. Mikey. This is a very dominating frame. Let's see the framing. Let's have a look at this framing. Like, I mean, this is like a textbook double page. I worry just a little bit about how claustrophobic we are up here as far as the framing. Because again, you know, this is going to fill the whole magazine page. If you have like another frame that gives you just a little bit of an inch above up there, small things, the wheels aren't straight. So because the wheels aren't straight, it makes the body of the car look skewed. Especially when everything else is so geometric. He had to rotate rotate the handlebars, bro. Rotate the handlebars so those wheels are straight, because that actually is throwing me off. These the tri-glass side mirrors out is also throwing me off as far as the lines of the car. I find it actually a little distracting. Small things. Is this a portfolio picture? Yes. But in future, when I'm shooting this, what I would do is make sure that the wheels are straight, especially if you're trying to get such a geometrically straight thing, because these being turned definitely it makes it look a little off. And anything that like disrupts the lines of the car unnaturally, like showing that this era of car had these fold out, like, dude, yes, I remember these mirrors when I was a kid, but keeping it and showing it this way in the photo, it's just distracting. It takes you away from the lines of the car. So I would have definitely asked him to fold those back in. Like, that's not a thing. And other than that, it's definitely a picture that you can put in your portfolio. There's really cool details on this, like the way that the bumper has like texture, like the texture in the bumper. That's super cool. That's super cool. The car is super clean, you know, like it looks like this guy wipes it with a diaper, but him sitting in the car, the owner of the car sitting in the car while you're shooting it, that's kind of like, why is he here? He's only going to let you take a picture of his car if he's in it. Like, that to me is like, have the driver out of the car. That's not normal when you're doing car photography, to have the driver sitting in it. So again, it's like, we just want to see the car. We don't want to see the owner. So again, those are some things to think about. Mike Morrison, again, can you use it? Yes. Should you use it? Yes. But these are things that, please consider all of the things that I said for you to notice as far as how to make the next round, the next time you go out and shoot, even better. Don't be so claustrophobic. If you want to lock off and shoot at 200, totally cool. No, that's going to flatten everything. It's going to make the car feel like it's really flat, as you can see here. Like, the distance between the front of the car here, the distance between the front of the car and back here, you can't tell how far this distance is. And you also can't tell how far that distance is to him. Like there's it flattens everything. So you can actually go too far with the compression. As you can see, you can't tell how long this car looks. It looks very much like it's compact. So again, that's from the telephoto. It flattens everything. It's best served for shooting people, but you're using a 200 to shoot cars, so it is going to do major compression. Here's an experiment. Shoot a car, the same shot, shoot it from 70, then back up, shoot it at and keep backing up, so you keep the car the same size in the frame, but keep backing up and go through all the zoom ranges and just look how the body distorts. And just look how it feels like the car is getting flatter. Just do that experiment, so you know for yourself when you're shooting cars that you're picking the optimum focal length and you're not going too far. I personally think 200 millimeter is too far. It's too much of a telephoto to be shooting a car flat on because of the compression that I'm talking about right now. I hope that brings you value. That's Mike Morrison, everybody. Mike, accelerator member. Accelerator. All right, this is Joe Franklin, kitchen interior, shot with the S5 Mark II with the Sigma 16 to 28 at 16. F8, and this is a flambient blend. I don't know what that means, but a flambient blend. No other technical jibber jabber. Okay, Joe Franklin. Thank you, Joe Franklin. I appreciate you, Joe. Joe, your interiors and your focus stacking or whatever it is that you're doing in order to make these pictures look as perfect as these do is fantastic. It's fantastic. Really, let's look at this as a double. Yes. My question, do you need to see the rounded part of the corner of the counter on the front? Do you need to see it here? Or could you crop this picture? Could this picture start here? Do you need to see that rounded part? I'm not sure that you do. Again, this is just 2 cents. Let me hide my frame. I agree 100% with your straight on framing. Could you have taken this Lazy Susan? Oops. Could you have taken this Lazy Susan here and moved it to here? And taken this off the gutter and moved it here? Or this is the side that it would have had to be, which is here. Yeah, for sure. I don't mind seeing this other room, but it's so funny. The one thing that bothers me in this room, this is another thing here, Joe, small thing here, but should we have cut this out right here? Do we need to see this? And then now, if you mirror the other side, do we need to see that? Are you going to try to include the fridge? So it becomes that's a crop where now you take out those two parts of it, and then that isolates you way more into the room. Here's the next thing. I know kitchens at times should have stainless steel outlet plates, but these are so distracting against the white tile. So distracting that I would take them out. And this is so distracting against the paint that I would literally beg this homeowner to change them. So small things, but those are the things that I see from this photo, Joe. It's you could take these plugs away. People wouldn't miss them. You could take them away. You could take that away. You could take that away. Small thing. Again, it's me that I'm the one who that bothers me. Also, this pot light, you could take that away. But again, it's a feature of the house. So I'm sure they want to see it. Seeing a little bit of this decoration, I would have moved that because that's a little distracting. The wall art here also was a little distracting. But other than that, like your pictures are getting so clean. Let me just show you just a little hint of what that just punched in crop looks like. Just a little bit more of what that punched in crop looks like. Sorry, give me a little bit more punch. Too much, too much, too much. Still too much. That's close. So closer to here, Joe, is what I'm trying to say. Like that kind of a crop. And then I would offset the Lazy Susan. So it's just, and again, now you can see what it looks like when I even crop this extra little piece here. Because look at all the stuff that I'm taking out. I'm taking out this, like just that little bit of slide over like that. And then I would go even a little bit further to take out that. Yeah. Small tweaks. But again, Joe, your interiors are so much better than like when you first started watching. So I'm thrilled with what this stuff looks like. This is a yes for me. Again, just make sure when you're shooting that you're not trying to include unnecessary things. This particular shot, I would punch in exactly where I just showed you. Exactly where I just showed you. And don't be afraid to do a little bit more room styling. Don't be afraid to mess around with like room styling. I just move that over. This plant here that is kind of offset right here and not set, like just move this plant and just move it like over to here. So that, or like just place it someplace where it makes more sense, because this and this are fighting. You know, they're in the same eye line. So just like, again, like just take this one, offset this one over here, take this one, offset this one over here. And now you're winning, you know, small things, but this is, I have visual OCD. I see everything and like order, like I'm just very good with helping you create order within your photographs. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm just obsessive, and you know, maybe, I mean, it seems to be working for me because I've been doing this for 3.5 decades and people keep hiring me. People keep asking me to make their photos, to shoot their campaigns and shit. So I'm going to just keep going with my obsession. Guys, that was the one and only Joe Franklin. Our next photographer is Mike Lilly. Mike says, thank you for consideration. This is a shot of a new build located in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Thanks for your time, support, and indulgence. Sony A7 Mark III Rokinon 35mm f4. Shot at f8, 1 second exposure, or ISO 100. f8, 1 second, ISO 100. Guys, we're almost at 21,000. Look. We're almost at 21,000 subscribers, baby. This is insane. 21,000 subscribers. Woo woo. Let's make the light red. Almost at 21,000 subscribers. If you've become a subscriber recently, thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, let's get it into Mike Lilly. Mama Mikey. Let's get it on. Yes. It's a quick answer right there. Quick answer. Let's see it as a double. Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this. I think you submitted this photo, but this is a portfolio picture, Mike. It is. Like, there's no denying. Yes, it is. But this overlay that I'm showing you, this overlay has to be your life. It has to be your life. And everybody who's watching, like, you're seeing how I'm doing these overlays over top of the picture, whether it's a vertical or a horizontal, showing you what it looks like as a cover. These overlays are so valuable because you actually get to see what your work looks like in a magazine before it happens. So architecturally, this is a yes. Photographically, this is a yes. Is it good enough for a portfolio picture? Yes. But I do want you to look at the balance of this photo. I want you to look at how you framed it and how this could have easily all contained on that side. In fact, this entire building, including this part, on that frame, on that side, and then use this other side for landscaping. Like, I think that is also something that's very viable, that it could have happened, but only the obsessive are going to notice this. If this is a homeowner, also homeowners are going to want the option of being able to submit their homes to magazines. Interior designers, architects, these people all know the format that I'm speaking to you about. So, like, lock the format in. The quicker you lock the format in, the better that this works. There's not a lot of ways to frame this, and quite possibly, it's like this one, I would have stood a little bit more this way, up in this back corner, and tried to hit it in that way. I definitely, but again, that makes your lines not as straight as you wanted to make them. This is a very geometrical house. I see all your dilemmas. I'm here with you. I'm giving you an 11 though for this, Mike. This is a good photo. This is a great idea and a great execution. Guys, that was Mike Lilly. You'd be thrilled, Mike. But also be a crazy person. Like I keep getting asked, would it be beneficial for you guys if I gave you these overlays? Would it be beneficial if I gave you these overlays? If I gave you this 4x5 overlay? I mean, I feel like it's so simple. If I gave you my double page overlay, like, I feel like these are things that you can make. It's so easy. Like, literally all you need to do is like in Photoshop, draw a 4x5 box. You know what I mean? And then add a border to it. Like, but again, if you guys don't know that kind of stuff, I'll make them for you and you can just lay them over top of your photos and see if it works. Like, again, if it's something that you're interested in, I'll give it away as a freebie. I'm not trying to make money from like a window frame like that. But if it's a guide that helps you, if you're into it, if it helps you, like, and Daniel's saying if you use Capture One, you can use the overlays in Capture One that they actually show you that. So there you go. Thank you for that, Daniel Van Cleef. Guys, that was the one and only Mike Lilly. Let's get into our next shooter. We have a few more, which is great. This is Ammon Thompson. Ammon says, my next image draws heavily influence from the wonderful my next images draw heavy influence from the wonderful photographer Mark Mann. His style is very captivating for me, and this has been my focus lately. This is Paul. He's a local friend of mine and was willing to be the subject for these test shots. Fuji X-T5 shot at 56 millimeter at f14, 125 or ISO 100 and, oh my goodness, I can't speak. ISO 125, 1250 the second at 4.5. Oh, you're telling me that you have a 56 millimeter 1.4, but you put the decimal, either you or either Ammon or Graham put the decimal in the wrong spot. Okay, so single strobe, 2 reflectors, speed light for background fill. Single strobe, 2 reflectors. All right, this is Ammon Thompson. Ammon, let's get it on. Ammon, this is, again, I've seen this photo. Is this a portfolio picture? Absolutely. I mean, for you, I just want you to continue to develop your background styles, like what you're doing behind your subjects. I want you to be working on gradients. I want you, like, because white, like, you seem to really have nailed your, like, shooting to white. Now, we also, I think, talked about, let's make sure that this is the whole frame. We also talked about the framing of this, how it's slightly cropped, so it's not actually the full frame. It's very easy. Just extend the white on one side of this, or go back to the original photo and give me the whole picture. because you can see it's actually not cropped exactly 2:3. Please go back to your proportions on this picture and make sure it's 2:3. Eyeline wise, you could definitely move his eyeline a little higher. Like there doesn't need to be this much headspace with him. The eyeline doesn't need to go straight. Like it could go across here. It could go even higher. And it makes you actually connect a little bit more if the eyeline's a little higher. And lastly, again, really good exposure here. Good exposure here. I like the light. I like the Rembrandt. I like the focus in the eyes. You got lots of room here for text. Just give me the whole photo. That's the only thing I'm asking for, is this frame should be perfect and perfectly full. So that's the only thing I'm asking for, because again, you can't have your proportions jumping back and forth through the frame. But yes, it'll go in your book, Ammon. This is a winner. This is a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right. Who's next? This is Joseph Baldwin. Hey, family. I recently did a test shoot inspired by Levi's. Never heard of that brand. And I shot it at night. I think it would be a fantastic magazine opening photo for my portfolio. Shot with the EOS R 50mm, 1.8, 1/100th of a second, f2.8, ISO 200. Shot with a strobe at a 16th power. This is the one and only Joseph Baldwin. Joseph busting out the outdoor strobe at night, my guy. This is a yes for me. Let's look at this as a cover. This pops as a cover, my guy. This is a yes for me. Like, honestly, it's very good. Let's hide the cover and look at this as a double. Let's look at this as a vertical frame. You can see it fits as an 8x10 nicely. It's nicely disciplined as an 8x10. Like you can see it's right there. Like it's right there as an 8x10. You don't have that much tolerance, but it still works. This is a yes for me. Again, look at this as a cover. It's banging. It works really well as the Carty Method magazine cover. For you, just small things that I want you to try when you're doing these kinds of things. You hear me talk so much about being on the exact eye line as your subject. I say that a lot. The vibe is that you also sometimes be a little bit lower to elevate them just a little bit, especially for full length pictures. For full length, where you're showing the feet, you can see here where you're seeing the feet. Like, I want to see just a little bit low, just a touch lower. But again, I'm almost nitpicking at this point because this shot is so fire. Let's look at it close up because I want to see the skin. Good retouching, Joseph. You didn't go too far. Again, you can see the highlights here. This is EOS R sensor. This is what you're going to experience. But again, it's like when you're ready, when you start banking, now that you're in my program, Joseph again is in my accelerator. You'll see like this. This is almost perfect, Joseph, for me. This is almost perfect. This is a yes. I'm not gonna like step on what I'm saying. This is a yes. This is a yes for me. So yes. But again, just try. Sometimes a little lower perspective. Not the whole session, just just to elevate them just a little bit. It without being exaggerated, just a touch. All right. That is the one and only Joseph Baldwin. All right, who's next? I have a couple more. Garan Rath. Let's get it on. Garan Rath, my wife never gets to use her beauty products right away. So I steal them before she opens them, and I try to get images for my portfolio. Duh. This shot is a combination of 6 photographs to get the milk splashes in the right place. 6. to get the max. And I'm pleased with the result for my first splash image, but I have a lot more experimenting to do to get the timing and the aim right. Sony A7R Mark III, Sigma Art 70mm 1.8, ISO 100, 1/80th of a second at f16, backlit through the product table with the Godox QT600, with a snooted Godox 8300 and a camera and a standard reflector on another Godox 8300 through a scrim. This is Guerin Wrath. Let's get it on, Guerin. My God, this is like tricky. This is tricky. And again, for me, there's a couple of things with the splashes that I noticed right away. For me, it's the splashes that are the factor, not the product photography, because the product photography is pretty flawless. But the splashes, I feel like that's where I see the transforming, and I see just weird corners and weird sharp edges that feel just a little odd. Oops, apologies for that. So most specifically, like, this does not look like a realistic pour. This does not look like a realistic pour. Like, that looks extended, and then sadly this doesn't look real, and then here and that. This is okay in here. This part is okay here. This is okay, but this doesn't look real. So I feel like you went too far. Like, and I'm going to show you why. Like, watch this. If I punch in and actually show less of the splashes, it looks better. It looks more real. But I feel like the way that this is coming in on an angle, it wouldn't do this. The way that this is coming in on an angle, it wouldn't do that either. So I think what's happening now is the unrealistic splashes are not tricking my mind. So my suggestion, because this is my suggestion. Rather than doing it this way, okay, this is my challenge for you. Okay, rather than doing it this way, you're going to do a drop into liquid. So imagine you use milk, you put milk in a tray, a flat square tray, get your camera above, and then drop the product into it and watch the now you're coming into the splash, and then you're going to be able to get a realistic wrap around it, if that makes any sense. Now you'll be able to get a realistic wrap. I think that now that's the vibe. Trying to throw from 3 different directions at the product, it just doesn't read properly. It doesn't read well. Dropping this into the white liquid and having that splash around it and doing that over and over and over again, I think that's going to be the hit. That's going to be the hit. Yeah, that's my vibe. I mean, it's not these lines, and this liquid doesn't work with this much order, right? It doesn't work with this much order. So because of that, it's that you need to have this feel like it's one stream. But this almost looks like it is fake. It almost looks fake. So now it's about how do we, what do we do? Or here's the other thing is have the product, but pour the product on top of the product. So it's dripping all the way through, it's dripping off of it. That's another option, but again, the package looks so good. You made the package look so good.
Like, look at the highlights on this package. Like, the lighting is so good. Like, this is the things that I want you to notice. Like, I'm not complaining about your sharpness, your detail, your packaging, your lighting, your exposure, or anything like that. It's just the splashes. And it's so funny because there's so many elements. And if you look at this, you know that I'm right. You know that I'm right. So, Garant, I'm giving you applause because, again, you swing for the fences. You swing for the fences, but I'm going to ask you to find just a flat tray, fill it with milk. I'm going to ask you to drop it and show me what a top down of this shot. A top down. That's going to be a difficult shot to do, but it's going to crush once you finish it. That's the picture. That's exactly what he just said. A top down drop into the liquid. That's exactly what I said, Sean. Okay, guys, that is Garant Wrath, everybody. And again, like, I can't give you an 11 because it's not going to go in your book. It's not. But I also can't give you an 11 because I know what you're capable of. And you make magic photos. So I'm just pushing you a little. I'm giving you one of these, giving you a little shoulder to nudge you into a bit of a harder direction, you know? By the way, how many people are watching me? I don't look. How many likes do we have? How many likes do we have? Are people liking the stream? Are people watching this stream? Is anyone even watching me at all? You got to hang out and chat. If you're watching me at home and you're not in chat, come on now. Come on, hang out and chat with us. It's a vibe. It's a vibe, you know? And again, it just... having a chance to hang out with the photographer while they're like, just do it. If it's in studio, do it. If me, I hang out with you online. Like, so do that too. It's so worthy. Our next photographer and our final photographer and our last photo of the week, or the last shot of the week, is Sean Thomas. Sean says, here's a possible portfolio shot, showcasing what I see as a roadie form wheel product shot. EOS R 100 millimeter, 75 to 300 f 4.5, 4 to 4.5, 1/60th of a second, 5.6 ISO 125. I need to get like that 75 to 300 lens, Sean. You need to toss it out the window. Like, it's just not as sharp. It's not sharp enough for what you need for where you're going with your career. I'm doing a lot of gear recommendations today. I don't really do it, but 75 to 300, a non-L series lens, a 3.5 or like a 4.5 to 5.6. It's not going to be as sharp as I need your images to be, Sean. Let's have a look. Let's zooms. Let's see this close. So the combination of the 70 to 200, the 70 to 300, and also the EOS R, like, I want this to not feel like so digital. And that's the problem with like that body, is it still had a little bit of like, it still has a little bit of this digi feeling. But also I want you to not go too far with your processing, too far with your highlight shadow. Like, don't you go now too far. This is strong. It's got good discipline for me. It's got good discipline here with the framing, good discipline here. Let's see it as a cover. Yeah, this works, Sean. I can't hate on you, my guy. This works. Let's look at this as a 8x10. Also works as an 8x10. I can't deny this as an, oops, don't you change my proportions, motherfucker. I can't deny this as an 8x10. This is also strong that way. Sean, this is dope. Like, this is a yes for me. I'm going to give you an 11. I just want you to not go too far with, like, Photoshop treatment. Like, don't go too far. I know you brought the sky back and like, but still your exposure is pretty smashing. The car's pretty perfect. And yeah, like, you nailed it. And look at this just idea for one perspective where you actually take away the sidewalk and you crop it like this. Like, sadly, it actually pushes me out of the frame. I can't get that, but that would actually make me happy if we were able to get that sidewalk off, because that just takes one more element out of the frame. But again, Sean, that's my 2 cents on this. I think that this is a yes for me. I would let this fly. Sean Thomas, everybody, and an 11, and our final shot of the week. Well, no, final shot of the day, because we got another whole thing going in. We got a whole thing going in. Okay, yes, I'm doing photos of the week right now. Photos of the week. Yeah, I'm gonna just literally freebase this photos of the week. I don't need that much brain power for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, our first submission and our first time ever. This is, I don't think first submission, but definitely first photo of the week. Guys, our first photo of the week goes to Thomas Wallace. Let's get it on. Photo of the week. Thomas, congratulations, buddy. Photo of the week. Well played. Thomas Wallace, your first Carty approved seal. Photo of the week. Welcome. Well done. Our next photo of the week. And again, this next photo of the week comes from a shooter who, again, has been grinding and pushing. And if you saw this photographer's work 6 months ago, you would not believe it's the same photographer. You would not believe it's the same photographer, guys. Our next photo of the week goes to Christina Nicole, baby. I'm giving it to you, Christina. Photo of the week. I'm giving it to you on this one. Christina, you deserve it. And honestly, it's like you've been trying so hard for so long. And I want you to know that I recognize you and I see that and I see how hard you're trying. I just want to congratulate you. I think you're really doing a great job. It's Christina Nicole, everybody. Our next photo of the week. Oh, these photos of the week have to be usable portfolio pictures. That's part of the stipulation of these being a photo of the week. The only way that it works is it's actually a photo that you can actually use for your portfolio. It's kind of useless if you can't. I knocked over my guardian angel. Just put it right there. You guys ever noticed that? Have you noticed my guardian angel? Did you see how I have her right here always? All right. This is my next photo of the week, guys. Next photo of the week goes to Kyle G, because this is a yes as far as a portfolio picture. I do think your other one's stronger, Kyle. I do. I honestly do think that your other one's stronger. But this is a photo of the week. It's like, yeah. There's so much. I want to talk to you, Kyle. I want to have a conversation with you. We haven't had enough time. One-on-one. It's Kyle G, everybody. Our next photo of the week. And this photo is like there's some inherent mistakes, but for this shooter, like this photographer is really like, I'm really trying so hard with this shooter, and I'm so happy because you're progressing and you're staying the course and doing the work. Guys, this photographer and our next photo of the week winner, and I'm going to stop right there. I do want you to remember this person who is about to win this photo of the week. Everything I said about this photo is exactly right, though, still, including the shoes. I went on a whole tangent about shoes. Don't mess around when it comes to footwear. They have to be perfect. Stop shooting beat up shoes. Guys, our next photo of the week goes to Natalie Murdoch. Natalie, congratulations. I do not know if you have won a photo of the week in a while, but congratulations. I'm very proud of you. This is a photo of the week image, Natalie. Shoes is your next thing. Make sure that when you shoot, tell this chick to get some new shoes. Seriously. You're not allowed to be that hot and have busted shoes. All right. Next photo of the week winner. And I hope you're keeping track of my photos of the week because I am not. But that's because I have a team that does that for me. This photo, when I saw it the first time around, again, I'm so proud of this shooter. I was actually upset. I was really upset with how this photographer framed this picture. I went on a tangent and he fixed it. He fixed it ages ago. But I still, now that I've literally forgotten the other version of this picture, this is now the only version that I have locked in my head. And yes, it is a photo of the week. Guys, this is Joshua Haney. Joshua, it's a photo of the week for you, buddy. For sure, this is a photo of the week. Absolutely fantastic. I'm saying yes. Yes, 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 yes. Joshua, yes. Like, yes. Yes. I got to tell you, the white gloves is what crushes this for me. The white gloves, the blue jacket, and the red, like the blue jacket against the blue sky, the red pants, and the white gloves. Like, it's America. It's Americana. And he's hidden America in this photo. Like, he's hidden this white, red, white, and blue. It's beautiful. And that's Joshua Haney. That's a photo of the week. Yeah. Yeah. Again, after a while, I start to know, I know the photographer based on the work. This is another shooter. This guy, new to the crew, but part of my accelerator. This guy fits in so perfectly. And again, he doesn't take himself so seriously. He takes the piss out of himself a little bit, but he really cares about this craft and really we need this shit to work. Guys, our next photo of the week. Daniel Van Cleef. Daniel, let's go, baby. Photo of the week. This is a yes for me, my guy, all day. Yes, 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 yes. But why do I have to think about Instagram? But why? Why do I got a format for magazines? Why? There's no magazines anymore. Who shoots for magazines? You see how I open your mind, my guy. You see how I train you and I teach you how shooting for Instagram, that's grade 1. Grade 2, learning how to shoot for magazines. Grade 3, you can shoot for ads. You can shoot for any kind of form. Grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, grade 12, grade 13, graduation, college, university. Now, like, an art director draws a sketch and shows you this is exactly how the picture has to be, because this is how it has to be in order for my layout. Like, meaning the pose has to be like, the elbow has to be here, the hand has to be up like this, and the face has to be turned that way because she's looking at the copy and the copy's right here. Like I'm starting you on grade 1 so I can graduate you to the point where you can shoot to an art director with a beer in his hand, can write a sketch on a napkin and be like, here, shoot that photo. And you're like, great sketch, bro. But thank God you explained it to me. But great sketch, bro. Like, that's what you're going to be shooting to. Like, that's the point that I need you to understand. You know, like, once you can do that, then yeah, bro, Vogue Portugal. Yes, yes, yes. And this is why, like, my photo was published in Vogue, like in 2020, a photo that I shot a portrait, because I understand how to shoot magazine. So I didn't get hired by Vogue, but Vogue Singapore published one of my photographs. So it's just like understanding the magazine format. It's part of your journey. And understanding how to shoot to layout, it's part of your journey. And also having other people shit on your layout and shit on you're like, guy, just, it's okay. But art directors, bro, they're like, dude, like, I need this to be like this, or this doesn't work for me. Like, it's so matter of fact, but also there's so much riding on layout. And that designer will either love you because of the way you understand their needs, or they will hate you because you don't understand their needs at all. That's the person who hired you, and they're going to see from your work. They'll know if you understand layout just based on your framing. If you can't shoot a vertical that fits within an 8x10 space and still have it compositionally interesting, You got to learn how to do that. You know what I mean? So this is why I'm saying, yes, this works as a frame, but doesn't work for Instagram, because you can't have it just work for one purpose. Like, it works compositionally, but I can't use it anywhere. Do you understand how now when I say it back that way? Oh, right. Yeah. My photographs, they're for use. They're for use. So Carty's actually showing me how to shoot pictures so they can be used by other people in practical applications. Oh, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing right here. So, Daniel, you better miss again. Don't say I'll never miss again. You better miss again, because you got to always swing for the fences. But compositionally, the framing thing, yeah, no, you won't miss that again. That's now locked in, but you still have to swing for the fences. You still have to try, like you've been doing, to do radical stuff. You know what I mean? So, another photo of the week. We're not done with the photo of the week, guys. We're not done. We're not done. Our next photo of the week winner is Jose Juan Herrera. Let's go, Juan. My guy, photo of the week. This is fantastic. Juan, come on. This is a yes. You're like, can I put this in my portfolio? Yes. You saw how amped I was, how excited I was about this photo. This is a yes. Background color, I'd love it to be gray instead of this color, because the yellow-ish, it's like this, it's... Run down the list of things that are yellow, you know, and like flowers, yes, but also, is this the right yellow? So small things like this, like, now give me this shot again, but make this gray. Give me this shot again, but make this background black. Give me this shot again, make this background red. Give me the shot again, make this background blue. Like, show me now, like, show me different variations. And I know that you pick this color because it's a complementary color to the blue, right? You pick this color because it's complementary to this, but also it fights with her skin tone and makes her skin feel more like that color, right? Like it links you to a different color, where if you use neutral, then now that doesn't link you to a color. So these are just secrets. This is why, like, I usually shoot to black, white, or gray, but sometimes I shoot to a color, but it's not the norm. So again, these are things. This is a photo of the week. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to give you smoke. I'm going to give you applause. I'm going to give you accolades. I'm going to say all of that, but to tell you, yes, this is a photo of the week. And yeah, the portfolio picture 2-1. Okay. This next, yeah, well, we're going to hold that one. No, we'll do it. We'll do it. Next photo of the week winner, ladies and gentlemen, this photo. No, I'm not going to actually do that. Right, I'm going to save it right now. I'm going to save that. Sorry. Our next photo of the week winner. This is such a yes. Guys, this is Anton Duris. Anton, it's a photo of the week, my guy. Yes, Anton is a travel photographer. This is definitely a photo of the week. Fantastic. Well done, Anton. Tricky. Okay, here we go. Next photo of the week winner, guys, is the one and only Joseph Baldwin. This is a photo of the week for me, my guy. Joseph, photo of the week. Congratulations. Carty approved. Photo of the week. Okay, and we have one. Oh, I have one more photo of the week. One more photo of the week, people. One more photo of the week that I'm going to give this love here, guys. Our next and final photo of the week is this one right here from Taylor Valentine. Taylor. But you guys know that there's one shot that's one shot that's missing. Taylor, congratulations. It was great. Taylor Valentine, photo of the week. There's one shot that's missing,
And the reason that shot is missing is because this shot not only is our last and final photo of the week, but it is the one and only best in show this week. Ladies and gentlemen, your photo of the week and best in show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liza Hyder. Liza, best in show, people. This is no joke. Liza, this is such an incredible photograph. Yes, it is photo of the week. And yes, it is best in show. Liza, the placement of the hand on the gutter, exactly the way that actually opens her hand into another photo. Like, Liza, this is again, I've been working with you one-on-one through my coaching. I've been working with you in my mentorship program, in my photo accelerator, pro accelerator for the last several months, and you've like something unlocked in you. And like she said, she studied this area and brought a model here to make this photo. The level of care that you have for this craft is palpable, and your quality is only going up. Ladies and gentlemen, our best in show today for our portfolio review show is the one and only Liza Hyder. Liza, I'm very proud of you. This is absolutely fantastic. Best in show today. So, are you ready to put your photos up to the test? Are you ready to have your photos reviewed by a 34-year professional photographer? If this answer is yes, please go to the Carty Method and sign up for submissions so you can have my eyes on your photos. Dude, the amount of mistakes today are hilarious. The amount of glitches, oh my God. But my heart rate hasn't gone much above 75. Like, let's see, wait. Can you change off 75, please? It's making me feel like it's only showing 75. Please show my actual heart rate. Yeah, it can't always be 75. Give me my actual rate. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to do the thing that I promised, which is tell you, I'm going to tell you Thursday's assignment. I'm going to tell you the assignment that I would normally give you on Thursday. I'm going to give it to you today. But guess what? You still actually have to wait till Thursday to join the submission folder. But what I've said that I would do for the people who are the true hardcores, the true like people who are dedicated and watch my stuff like early and stay late. For those people, I said that I would spin the wheel on Tuesday. So now you have an extra 2 days before I post the assignment. Because this wheel spin, now Thursdays, I'm not spinning the wheel. But I'll tell you what the assignment is at the end of the episode because I've already spun the wheel. And I already know what the assignment is. So that's what we're doing today. We are spinning the wheel. And we are going to find out what your assignment is for next week. Shall we? Shall we do the assignment wheel of destiny? Yes, let's do the assignment wheel of destiny. Hey, thank you for becoming a subscriber there, Les Henry. Appreciate you. Harry, Les Hetty, welcome. Let's spin the wheel to see what your assignment will be for next week, Thursday. Next week, Thursday's assignment is, a hero image at night. Garan, please make note that is our assignment for next week. Please put that in the end of my show notes. A hero image
at night. Let me read you the notes. I will tell you exactly what I need you to shoot for your hero image at night. And we are about to wrap up this beautiful episode. Hero image at night. Where are my assignments? Here they go. Pro photography assignment. So let's get into a hero image at night. What I make all of these. I mean, it is exactly what it sounds. Capture a hero image under low light conditions that has the power of your. Okay, 1 second. Hello, Amazon. Can you come to the back and pardon? So, okay, do you think my dog's not going to kill you? Just leave it in the alleyway and walk away. That's fine. Just put it against the house, please. My dog's not going to kill you. I promise you. Okay, bro. Hang on 1 second, guys. 1 second, please wait. My Amazon delivery driver is apparently afraid of my very friendly dog in the alleyway. He won't walk by him, so he's holding my package ransom. So I have to go. Guys, thank you. I hope it brought today's value. Know that that's your assignment. And for you, portfolio, next week, vertical, horizontal, same thing. Thursday, that is your assignment. Thursday, I'm going to be looking at the assignments from last week. That's it. Guys, I love you. Thanks so much. I got to go deal with this guy.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.